Hello everyone, I'm the Saxy Gamer, and today we're here for yet another Civilization 6 tier list. I believe that this is the very last of the tier lists that we have to do for the great people because we are taking a look at the Great Admirals. Hi everyone, just wanted to give a quick interjection here to let you know that my game store location has changed. So previously, as I'm sure some of you have known, I have had a game store on chrono.gg, but they are branching out and kind of breaking off their creator stores into a new platform known as nexus.gg. So the new link for my game store is nexus.gg/thesaxygamer. For those of you who are unfamiliar with my store, it's a place where you can pick up Steam keys for games while supporting the channel because I do receive a kickback, which reminds me that I'm probably legally obligated to say that this technically counts as a sponsorship since I do receive a kickback from purchases made on the store. But with this new site, I have a little bit more control over the games that I can put on there, so if there's any games that you want to see on there, just let me know and I'll see if they have them in their library of games for me to put on there. I do have the brand new, as released today, Crusader Kings 3, so if any of you were looking to pick up that game, you can do so while supporting the channel if you go to my site. So once again, nexus.gg/thesaxygamer. We might do a meme tier list of maybe great artists, writers, or musicians, or perhaps great prophets, who knows, but that one's going to be, kind of just for the lulz. So let's go ahead and get into things with the Great Admirals. So just like with the Great Generals, all of these are at least decent because they all have the passive bonus of giving +5 combat strength and +1 movement to all naval units that are of their era or the next one above them, and those are within 2 tiles as well, so they're all at least going to be good. So I'm really just going to be judging the active bonuses here. And the thing with the Great Admirals is I feel like pretty much all of them have at least decent active bonuses. So we're going to be grading these pretty harshly today because a lot of competition between them. But just as a whole, I feel like the Great Admirals are one of the best classes of great people in terms of overall effectiveness and things of that sort. So first up here we have Artemisia, and their bonus will grant you 1 promotion to a military naval unit. This is, in comparison to pretty much all of the other Great Admirals, not very good. It just really doesn't give you as much of a power spike as any of the other ones do, because that 1 promotion level, really, it's going to get you probably your first promotion on a military naval unit. The one nice thing about it is that since you can't heal outside of your territory with a military naval unit, like by normal circumstances, this will allow you to heal a little bit, but aside from that, it's really just not good in comparison to the other Great Admirals, and I think deserving of a 1. Gaia Studious is up next, and their bonus makes it so that they will form a fleet out of a military naval unit. This is particularly strong just because you are pretty much you're not gonna be fighting anybody else that has fleets in the classical era, and the fact that this comes so early is really, really strong. Getting like a very early fleet of quadrimes or galleys or something like that sort can make you have a very strong naval power spike early on, and you can really use this to just melt some coastal cities that you may be attacking. So this, I think, is very, very strong of a bonus and deserving of a 4. Themistocles is up next, and their bonus will instantly create a quadrime, and you also will receive +20% production towards all naval ranged units. This as well, I think, is a pretty strong bonus. Instantly creating a quadrime isn't particularly helpful just because the quadrime itself is, I believe, a classical era naval unit, so that's not really gonna, you're not gonna be getting it significantly far ahead of when you would normally be getting quadrimes, but +20% production towards naval ranged units for the rest of the game, starting in the classical era, is really good. So I think that this one as well is probably deserving of a 4. I just think that the fact that this applies for the entire game makes it so that you are going to get a lot of value out of this. I know in the Great General thing, some people were debating about Dwight Eisenhower and his 5% production towards all military units, and looking back on that, I think that one needs changed, but this one I think actually is quite good. On into the medieval era, we have Leif Eriksson.
Happy Leif Eriksson Day! Jäger.
And Leif Eriksson's bonus will give you 1 sight range additional on all of your naval units, and you can also enter ocean tiles without the required technology. This one, I think, it's not as strong as some of the other ones. 1 sight range, sure, you can see a little bit farther, but for the most part, that's just going to help you strategize a little bit more. It obviously can't make you attack any farther or shoot any farther on your ranged units, so that's just alright. Being able to enter ocean tiles without the required technology is nice because chances are your opponents aren't going to be able to enter ocean tiles, so if you can and they can't, then that gives you quite a strategic edge. But all things considered though, I think that this one is only okay and deserving of a 2. RashendraChalla is up next, or RashendraChalla, I don't know, and their bonus will make it so that you will gain +3 combat strength for all of your naval units, military naval units, of course, but this is really good because obviously this applies to all your existing ones, all your future naval units, and it's just like a empire-wide +3 combat strength units, or I can't speak English anymore. +3 combat strength on all naval units. So this obviously is going to be very good. It's going to give you quite a combat edge. So +3 combat strength isn't a huge bonus. It's not going to be immediately, fight winning or losing, but over the course of a large battle with a lot of melee or a lot of naval units, this is going to turn the tides. And if you're playing on higher difficulties, this helps cancel out some of the deity AI's combat bonus against you. So I think this one as well is quite good and deserving of a 4. Zheng He is up next, and his bonus will grant you a free trader unit and increases your trader capacity by 1, and in addition, the foreign trade routes to your city will provide +2 gold, I believe, for both cities, so this is identical to some of the great merchants. I think this one is quite good. I think my opinion of this has improved since I made the Great Merchant video, and I think that this one is quite good just because it also gives you the free trader unit, so this is quite good just because you need gold to support your military or your navy, and getting a free trader unit that you can then send to, some other city to get gold is quite good, so I think this is deserving at least of a 3. Francis Drake is up next, moving on into the Renaissance era, and their bonus will make it so that he instantly creates a privateer with 1 promotion level. I also know that this is misspelled as permission. I literally spelled every single case of promotion as promission. I don't know how that happened. Maybe it auto-corrected it or something. I don't want to have 10 people spamming the comment section, be like, oh, you spelled it wrong, like the last one with cavalry. But, sorry, I turned into the sassy gamer there. But anyways, you get 1 free promotion level, and in addition to that, military units will gain plus 50% rewards for plundering sea routes. This one, I think, is not particularly great. The free privateer is fine. I mean, it's a free unit, and it's in the Renaissance era, so you're probably going to be around privateers anyways. Starting with the free promotion does make it a little bit better, but 50% extra rewards for plundering sea routes is good, but not great, if that makes any sense. I find myself not plundering that many sea trade routes in, over the span of a game, so I think this one is deserving of a 2. Santa Cruz is up next, and their bonus will make it so that they form an armada out of a military naval unit. This is pretty much like forming a fleet, but even a little bit better, and I think that this one is really, really strong. If you get like a frigate armada in the Renaissance era from getting this Great Admiral, you can absolutely melt somebody's ships or their walls or anything of that sort. This is an extremely strong Great Admiral, just like the one that allows you to form armies with the Great General, so this one I think is easily deserving of a 5. It is one of the best power spike Great Admirals in the game because it just gives you a super unit that's just going to go and beat up pretty much every other unit that you come across or melt city walls or things like that, so very helpful for giving you a huge power spike. Yi Sun Sin is up next, and their bonus will instantly create an ironclad unit with 1 promotion level, and also it will give you 1 coal per turn just to finance the resource cost of having that ironclad. So this as well, I think, is really good. This, getting an ironclad in the Renaissance era, actually is quite significantly before you would generally otherwise have ironclads, and being able to get one this early means that you're going to have a significant advantage over pretty much anybody else that you fight with it. The really nice thing is if you're able to get both Yi Sun Sin and Santa Cruz, then you can get an ironclad armada. Then you're just really going to steamroll people. But either way, a very good Great Admiral, and I think well-deserving of a 5 as well. Fernando Magellan is up next. His bonus will give you 300 gold and 1 free copy of the luxury resource on this tile. So this one as well is very similar to some of the great merchants. I think that this one is also not particularly great, so you're going to have to use this on a sea luxury resource, so obviously you can't take him onto land if he's a Great Admiral. But this one is just okay. I don't think it's particularly great in comparison to some of the other Great Admirals. Maybe this one is a little bit better now that amenities are a little bit harder to come by, or the amenity bonuses are a little bit harder to get, so even so, I think I'm going to go ahead and give this guy a 2. Jingxi is up next, and their bonus will make it so that you gain 500 gold and also get plus 60% rewards for plundering. This should be sea trade routes, not all trade routes, but just the sea ones. Either way, I think that this is not particularly good in comparison to the other Great Admirals, and I think it's definitely going to deserve a 1. Once again, the thing with plundering sea trade routes, I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but just in comparison to some of the other Great Admiral bonuses, I don't think it's particularly great. Oh, my microphone just fell down, so now it's probably there. I'll have to fall down with it. But anyways, I don't think that this one is particularly great, and in any given game, I'm not going to be plundering that many sea trade routes unless, a lot of people are sending them there and I happen to be coming across all of them, or maybe I'm at war with 10 million people at once, but for those reasons, I think that Qingxi deserves a 1. Horatio Nelson is up next, and his bonus will give you an additional 50% flanking bonus for all of your naval units, and also he will instantly build a lighthouse and shipyard in the harbor that you activate him in. I think that this one is okay. It's very similar, once again, to one of the Great Generals that gives the additional flanking bonus, so upping it from 2 to 3, which can be quite significant if you have a lot of naval melee units. The fact that you also do get a free lighthouse and shipyard is quite nice, so I think Horatio Nelson deserves a 3. Up next, we have one of my favorite great people names, Laskarina Bubalina, which I don't know if that's at all how it's pronounced, but I'm reading it already. Their bonus will make it so that you gain 1 promotion level and 50% extra experience on a military naval unit. This is, well, not particularly great. It's just like some of these guys up here. And I think in comparison to the other ones, it's not that great. The fact that you do get 50% extra experience is kind of nice, though, so I think it's at least deserving of a 2, just because of that thing. Some of the promotions on naval units are really good, like with frigates and stuff, that you can get extra range whenever you are, I believe it's max level, I think, with them. Or just the extra strength against city centers or naval units or things like that. The promotion trees on some of the naval units are quite good, so 50% extra experience is quite nice. Franz Von Hipper is up next. We are into the modern era. His bonus will make it so that he instantly creates a battleship with 1 promotion level and 1 coal per turn to fund that battleship as well. This, I think, is pretty good. At this point in the game, you are probably going to be kind of close to getting a battleship, because I believe battleships are modern era units anyways, so in some cases, there might be other people that already have battleships, especially just because if someone has taken off in science, they will probably have a significant lead over you. So unlike up here with the ironclad one, generally people that have a significant lead might not even have reached ironclads yet, but this late on in the game, if you're behind someone in science and they have significantly more than you, chances are they probably have battleships. But either way, this is still at least a good bonus, I think, and deserving of a 3. Up next, we have Joaquin Marquez Lisboa, I don't know. And their bonus will make it so that you accumulate 25% less war weariness than usual. This one, I think, is not particularly great. The war weariness penalties in the game, sometimes they hurt, but it takes a lot to actually make them feel bad for your civilization in terms of negative amenities and things of that sort. So for those reasons, I think that they deserve a 2. This is maybe even deserving of a 1, just because it's so rare that I actually feel a significant impact from war weariness that getting it reduced really doesn't mean that much. We also have Togo Hiharchiro? I don't know, that sounds Japanese, but their bonus will give you +6 loyalty per turn for the city, so once again, just like some of the Great Generals. The thing is, I think in comparison to some of the with the Great Generals, I think I gave this person like a 2 or a 3, but in comparison to the other Great Admirals, I think that +6 loyalty per turn for the city is not particularly good, and I think it's honestly going to deserve a 1, not an 11, I mean 1. Just because, so as I mentioned, this is in comparison to the other Great Admirals, and unlike with the Great Generals, I think that this really is just not that impactful, and that's why I think it should deserve a 1, honestly. Chester Nimitz is up next. He's the guy that made the submarines or something like that, and very fittingly in the game, he also will instantly create you a submarine unit with 1 promotion level and 1 oil per turn to finance it, and you also get 20% extra production towards naval raider units. This one is kind of similar to Themistocles up in the beginning there. The only difference here is that now you're in the atomic era, so 20% production towards naval raiders all the way in the atomic era, not quite as helpful, but the free submarine is also quite nice, so I think that Chester Nimitz is going to deserve a 3. Grace Hopper is up next, and she will unlock 2 random technologies. It's very strange. It doesn't really fit in with any of the other Great Admiral, kind of themes and things of that sort, but 2 random technologies is really just kind of bad. I'm going to give it a 1, just because you have no idea what you're going to get from it, and I mean, sure, they're free rather than just Eurekas, but either way, just 2 random things for free it's probably not going to give you much of a power spike at all. And the last 2 Great Admirals, we have Sergey Gorshkov and Clancy Fernando, and they will both give you 1 free promotion to your naval unit, and also 100 and 200% extra combat experience, 100 and 200% extra combat experience, respectively. I think I might have butchered that English, or maybe not. I don't really know, but either way, I think both of these guys are going to deserve 2s, not a 52. Just because, once again, the free promotion, it just doesn't stack up in comparison to a lot of these other admirals. The extra combat experience is nice, especially the plus 200%, but this late in the game, it's the value of getting promotions isn't quite as much, because early on in the game, you can just say you get bonus production or bonus experience, you can use that for a lot of battles to just continually upgrade your unit. But this late in the game, you'll be able to upgrade one fast, but they won't be around for that much longer until the game is just over anyways, so their value is diminished a little bit. So here we have the final sheet here. Once again, as always, these are subject at least a little bit to my own personal preference and bias and things of that sort. So if you think that things should be different, let me know in the comments section below. And I'm sure at the end of this, I might do a general going through and changing some of the ratings here, because my opinions themselves do change just after hearing what you guys have to say as well. But as I mentioned, especially with these guys, I really think that most of the Great Admirals are quite good, so I was pretty harsh on them with their ratings, especially some of these guys down here in the 2 and 3 range. These are still very good Great Admirals. They are actually deserving of the Great title. But anyways, let me know what you think. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to like. If not, feel free to dislike. If you're looking for some more Civilization 6 content, feel free to subscribe. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.